gorgeous people, I'm Sadie and today I need some therapy. I mean, isn't that the case every day? But today, specifically, I'm in the middle of a career-based moment and I need a bit of a reprieve in the form of crafts. So I'm going to be altering a skirt so that it fits me and I can frolic and be merry once more. Let's go. The skirt in question is this flowy orange number. It's a full-length skirt. It's got an adjustable front, so we got some stretchy shirring in there and also some lacing that can be adjusted. I actually made this just post-lockdown when I was a little bit bigger in the waist. Even though it's an adjustable skirt, it's just too big for me now. I have to pull the lacing in about that much and then you can't see the shirring and it's just not ideal. So what I need to do is just take in the sides so this actually fits me on the waist. I did actually film the process of making this skirt, but it was at a time when I was feeling like super down on my filming stuff, so I just deleted all the footage. But I made it out of an old linen bedsheet. You know, the one that I accidentally dyed turquoise when I was turning my dungarees into a pinafore. The one that I then made part of into a 1940s shirt. I mean, honestly, that bedsheet was just the gift that kept on giving. Yeah, so I made it out of a linen bedsheet and I kind of made it to be like a dupe of the linen naive skirt. What's it called? Where is it? It's the tea dance skirt. But sadly, I couldn't afford it as much as I really want to support their business. I just don't have the funds. This is just the story of my life. So I made one out of my old bedsheet and it is just really wonderful for like prancing around and having a great time. So I really want to be able to wear it again. So what we need to do is put it on and figure out just how much I need to take out of the side seams. So this is the skirt with the lacing done up to a distance that I'd like it to be. And as you can see, it's not very flattering. This just goes straight up. It doesn't hug my waist at all. There's lots of room in here and I basically look like a tube with no waist, which is not in fact too far from the truth. So ideally I want to be able to give the illusion of a waist with this. If we were to tighten this to an amount so that it would in fact cling to my waist, we then get this. Like, we've got this weird sort of triangle look here. It's not ideal. What I'm going to do is pinch out a triangle. A triangle! The largest part will be at the top here on my waist where it actually matters for it to fit. And then this will just get smaller and smaller and smaller as we get down to here. So it'll kind of be like taking in a dart, because then I don't have to fuss around with all of this material here and like undoing this seam from the waistband to the actual skirt and taking all of this out. It just means that I am purely working on this nice, easy, flat bit of fabric here. And it should be a super simple fix. So on this side we have 1.25 inches pinched out, and the same on this side. I'm probably going to stitch a teeny tiny bit inside of that 1.25 inch mark because I've just had some ramen, so I'm a little bit bloated. I'm not as bloated as I can be, like after exercise or after a big meal. So I'm like medium size right now, but I specifically made this skirt so that it was adjustable as I got like bigger throughout the day. So I'm not worried about it actually being too small because there's loads of room for adjustability. I don't want to do all this work and then have the same problem of it being too big most of the time when I am just sort of my normal size. So I'm going to take in a teeny tiny bit more than that 1/4 inch, but only a tiny bit, because I say I'm taking in 1.25 inches here, but what I'm actually taking in is 2.5 inches, because we have 1.25 inches on this side and 1.25 inches on this side, and then that is doubled by what is being taken out on this side. So I'm just gonna bring it in a teeny tiny bit, maybe like an extra, I don't know, 1/8 of an inch, so we get an extra 1/2 inch overall. fitting much better. We do have these little sticky outy bits where the bottom of the seam was. Obviously that wouldn't have been such an issue if I'd have gone all the way to the bottom of the seam, but there's a lot of seam allowance in here from the copious gathering, and I didn't really want to have to stitch all of that into a point because that would have just made stuff really bulky on the inside. So I'm hoping I can sort of do some magic pressing that's gonna just get rid of those little knobbly bits. But even if I can't get rid of them, it's really not the end of the world because the skirt does tend to wrinkle like that. That's just kind of what the linen does. So it sort of looks like it's just a natural part of the skirt. Also, I think on the original skirt, there's actually a zip down the side of one of these. And I can see why, because oh my God, when it actually fits you around the waist, getting it off, even with the stretchy bit and like all of the lacing in the world, getting it past my butt is always going to be a job. So, if this size of skirt works out and I end up wearing it a lot, what I might do to avoid breaking it so that I don't have to shimmy out of it super carefully every time is just put a zip in one of those side seams, just to make things a little bit easier. So there's a couple of things I could do with this little flappy bit that is now just on the inside of my skirt. I could trim it so it's just like a normal seam and press and finish those seams like I very obviously finished the rest of the seams in the skirt. I could just leave it as is, just flapping around like this. I could slit open this seam but leave this extra length on and press it open. But I think what I'm going to do is press this towards the back of the skirt, and then just on the inside layer of this waistband, because it's a double layer waistband, on the inside layer I'll just really gently whip stitch this down, just so it sort of stays in place and isn't flapping around and creating extra bulk at the side of the seams where I don't want it to, but also it'll be there if in the future I need to adjust this again and need to make it a little bit bigger, because we want to try and future-proof our clothes that we make so they're as sustainable as they possibly can be. I just did loads of frolicking. This is done. It was super easy and super quick. I got it done in like less than half an afternoon, and I have been putting it off for months, like maybe even over a year. But now it fits me really well. It looks like the skirt is supposed to look, and I can actually wear it in everyday situations, and that is going to be great because it is supposedly spring here. It's incredibly grey and gloomy today, but it'll be lovely to wear and swoosh about and pretend that we're not in a dystopian future. If you liked the slightly shorter sort of how-to style video, let me know in the comments, because I don't know what you'll like until you tell me. Subscribe to facilitate more crafty escapism, and I will see you next time for more cozy chaos. Bye!